Hello, welcome back to a rant slash topic thing, I guess we'll call it. This time it's things indie devs do wrong. Of course, some of the things that I will mention, which there's not many, is could be personal opinion. You know, my personal taste, kind of bias, kind of thing. So take it as you will. If you even bother listening, it's just things that I've personally noticed or such over the course of the time that I've been part of the community since like probably about 2013. Actually, I think is when I started. Which, since we're on the topic, the first thing, the reason way I got into the community real quick was by the game Corpse Party. I think it was Manly Badass Hero. He has a really good voice. He does a lot of horror LPs, and I saw his game, him playing it. Like had kind of like RPG-ish feel, but it was a horror game. I was kind of interested in it. Eventually looked it up and stuff. I found out all about that. I got into it. Anyway, back on topics. I'm sorry about that. Uh, Number one, when they make game pages for games they have not even started to work on, completion is a long time away. We're talking like one through 9 years. I've seen, or it's possible it will never be completed. As a human being, I at least personally believe that a person should be able to kind of assess what their ability is, what they're capable of. I mean, we're not animals. We have brains to be able to process information correctly, even if we're not all equal. Some people are better at it than others. But still, it's it just feels really pointless to bring out an idea which will not you'll not see for a ridiculous amount of time or never see at all. Number two, work on multiple projects at once. This this just personally this upsets me when you because it's like you'll never see a project. We'll the people who are waiting on something will never see a project finished because you drop it to do all other games. I mean, sure, if it's life things, like it comes up, we'll say somebody in your family dies, or you get injured and go to the hospital. You lose your job, and you have to you have to do things. That's fine, but multiple people working on multiple projects, it just bothers me. And I also get that maybe you get bored of one project, right? So you want to do something else to kind of like leave it because it gets tedious after a while. But it still just irritates me. Okay. Uh, they do not. Number three, when you do not delete saves from the upload. This is kind of rare actually, and it's kind of it's just a minor thing. So let's go on to the next one. Number four, when doing mapping, I've seen this a good amount of times. People are new at it. I don't really understand why they do this, but they have like oversized empty maps. Like you go inside of a store, for example, and there'll be like freaking 50 plus tiles for the front thing when you only need like freaking what six what four through 8 maybe tops, and that's if you buy things through the merchant, right? If if I could see a bigger store for if we're talking about stores, for example. I could see a bigger store if it's the type of game where you buy things like you go into the you pick items out from the front like manually. You click on it. It's like, would you like to buy this? Cost this much, etc. But yes, like it's just unreasonably huge freaking things, and I just don't understand why. You can maybe not be skilled at making things pretty or not have the editing tools to do so, but the size, man, make it smaller. But while we're talking about the size, before we go into the next thing, think about when you're making maps. Think about wandering NPCs when you make single line hallways or entries to doors, because I've actually had to drop at least one game because an NPC walked into the doorway and for whatever reason they wouldn't walk out, and I actually had saved with before I noticed that they walked in the door because it was a big enough room so I could be like out of like I was out of the sight where they were. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Number five, I think. Uh, not give away to negate random battles. Turn-based battles are fun to a certain extent, but you can only handle so much of that game after game after game. And I've already played. I've personally played a lot of RPGs, right? So it gets tedious. Honestly, I just really, really, really don't care about them as a main feature of the game anymore. So it's just nice to give us a way to negate the battles. It's really easy to program. You could find tutorials for it around, and it'll make both sides happy. It's only an improvement to the game. Not that to waste time getting stopped every X amount of steps. And all right, so number six. I think we're on number six, right? Yes. This one is a personal nitpick. It could also be considered a design problem. Is when enemy encounters level up with the player. The reason, one of the reasons I really, really fucking hate this is because when you have it contradicts the level up system. Like one of the aspects I love, like say Final Fantasy VII for example. Not too much of a spoiler, so most people who are in RPGs must have at least heard of this, right? There's this giant snake monster or something outside of the Midgar, which is the first town you start in, and he's fairly strong. I mean, you either use the specific strategy, this strategy which you might not have if you're not experienced with RPGs, to defeat him, or you have to grind considerably, right? But when you defeat him, it makes you feel, at least in my case, it makes me felt a little bit accomplished, right? I kind of worked towards getting stronger to surpass things I couldn't before. But when monsters level up with you, it's like, what am I leveling up for? It doesn't feel like there's a purpose. These people are supposed to become weak because I'm too strong, and I'm supposed to be, fighting stronger enemies who were at that level, but I caught up to them and surpassed them, and optional challenges and stuff. To me, that's the point of a level up system. It just feels so uh, wrong for enemies to level up with you. Okay, next one, 8. Not developer When developers don't test their games before release. I understand you have, I understand again, you have lives and all that stuff. You're busy, and it gets even harder when your game's longer, like in the 20 to 50 plus, even if that's possible, hour games, right? Which usually because of battles. But let's say it's like 10 or less hours. You could finish it in one day if you give up all your free time. Just one day. And you got like, grammar aside, if you're not a native speaker, you got bugs that are just unmissable. I mean, really like hard to miss, or unmissable. You know what I mean? And that's just because they didn't test their games first. or somehow maybe they did maybe in some cases they do actually test the games, and for whatever weird reason they don't come across the issue. Because I have came across like one or two issues which didn't make sense, and actually we never found a problem before. Which I forget the name of the game, but it was like a sound issue apparently when it switched over a certain sound file, like MP4 or something else. I guess the screen went black and it just wouldn't continue the game. But yes, I wish I do wish as is possible within reason that developers would test their games before releasing it. So at the very least, the glitches and pathing errors, whatever they could possibly find, hopefully would be bugged out to the best of their abilities. Number 9, I think we're on. Not be able to take negative feedback or criticism. But by negative feedback, I kind of mean like not liking the game. Like, hey, it wasn't my thing. Which, even just that, not everybody's particularly happy, but we do have a great community. I love you guys. You're cool. You got some real cool people in there. I have been pretty negative myself, honestly. I'll say the worst I've been was on a certain game I shall not be named. And I forgot the name, the name of the game anyway. I said the game was worthless and nobody should play it. And honestly, that's my honest thoughts. That particular thing was broken, had lots of grammar issues. It was a demo for like 2+ years, I think. I don't even know. The developer went AWOL somewhere. Again, with life and stuff. Happens, right? But but yeah, negative feedback happens. Also this, along with the negative feedback, criticism. There was one developer who had poor grammar, and I had to drop his game because it might not for other people, but for me. So when it gets to the point where there's something wrong with like pretty much every paragraph, like things are spelt wrong, things are worded awkwardly, I can't get immersed in it. It's very distracting. It's very annoying. I understand that not everybody's native speaker, and hell, I don't know every word in the. I'm a native English speaker, of course. I'm white, and there's so many words in what's it called, the dictionary, that I don't know everything, because they're words that aren't needed by most common people. And a couple times I've actually learned some things while doing a grammar correction for people. But yes, if you're going to make something, you need to expect criticism, good and bad. Because really, just like you don't like everything in the world, and even if you do, you still can't expect everybody else to, right? Just like right now, I'm giving criticism on devs, and some people may take a few of the things I'm saying offensively. I'm just being honest and not trying to bash them personally, but that's just how it might come across to some people. And finally, another thing that's actually important is they do not back up their projects. And I say this especially because I've seen a good amount of devs whose computers have died for whatever reason, viruses, age, this random accidents, someone threw it out the window or toilet or something. I'm sorry I laughed. That was mean. But yeah, so there's multiple websites you could store backup on. I highly recommend doing so. You finished working on your project for the day. Just go upload it, go eat, take a bath before you go do whatever you do. Well, just start the thing. It takes like 30. It takes like less than 30 seconds. No, less than 20 seconds to freaking get from wherever you are to the site to a site, or USB stick. I forget what USB stands for. It doesn't matter. You can look it up, and it just update it. You know, you never know what can happen, right? And and then that is all for things over for this video. I guess I don't really was really planning on asking any questions for this, but sure. Is there anything anything you feel I missed? Sure. Is there anything you feel my mind's not working? I apologize. Is there anything you disagree with? Do you have valid reasons for disagreeing, and all of that nonsense? Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.